and less coming back from Keneally.
Ladder with another good right hook. Goes Perkins to the body, then back up top once more. Dominant round from Danielle Perkins, who just blasted Keneally with a hard left hand, with Keneally trapped on the ropes, and will do it for the round.
Great action there in round 2 from Perkins. A few counter punches off the back foot from Keneally, but the pressure of Danielle Perkins was non-stop that whole round. Landed some very big left hands and right hooks. Overwhelmed is what I see on the face of Shea Keneally at this point.
Yeah, when I was watching some of the tape on Keneally before this fight, her opponents, I mean, look, they just weren't on the level of Danielle Perkins. They were average type opponent that Shea Keneally could have her weight with. Danielle Perkins is an action fighter. She is going to be pressing the action all of the run. But with the body language of Shea Keneally, it's not great right now. The stamina of Shea Keneally as we're into this third round just doesn't look the same as it does with Danielle Perkins.
Perkins came out, wasn't even breathing hard to start the round.
Well, this, I think, is a meaner version of Danielle Perkins than we've seen in the past. Obviously, that Shields fight was one-sided in the other direction, but even in those developmental fights with Danielle Perkins, we didn't see this kind of an edge to Perkins that we're seeing right now.
And I think even in defeat, you learn a lot.
Yes.
You know, if you take on an opponent that is #1 pound for pound, even if you get beat, even if you get dropped in the final round, you glean something from that, right?
He spent 10 rounds with a living legend. And she actually spoke about the positives in the fighter meeting about that experience.
Good left hand there for Perkins.
He is right in the face of Shea Keneally, giving her no time to breathe.
This is good scouting by her corner coming into this fight. Now maybe she would be fighting this aggressive anyways, but her willingness to keep the pressure, stay in the face of Shea Keneally, it's paying off now, and I gotta believe it's gonna pay off in these later rounds.
This is that inside work that Perkins was talking about yesterday in fighter meetings as well, and those rounds spent with Darius Fulger and then others, the directives from her new trainer Dominic Quinn to be more physical with Perkins, clearly paying off.
And we're seeing it here. All 3 of these rounds. A lot of aggression, fighting on the inside, overpowering and really bullying Shea Keneally once her back is on the ropes.
Keneally trying to step in with the right hand. Perkins managing to swing with that shot. You see the smile on her face.
Now, Perkins blocked one of those shots, but good on Keneally, followed up with a 1-2 of her own.
Good, sharp right hook there from Perkins a moment ago, and now it'll shoe shine to the body. Keneally again trapped against the ropes in the closing seconds of the round. And there is Franchon Cruz-Dezurn making her way into the venue. Chris Mannix, there was a time not that long ago when we didn't know whether this would be happening.
No, I wouldn't think this would have happened as recently as 3 years ago, but Franchon Cruz-Dezurn revived her career with a win over Shadaisha Green, and now here she is with an opportunity to take on the greatest woman of all time, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, undisputed heavyweight champion, and an unquestionable attraction here in the Motor City. This building, fellas, is going to be packed to the brim by the time Claressa Shields makes her ring walk. It is a feather in her cap that she can sell out this building at this stage of her pro career.
Yeah, man, it's one thing to be dominant in the ring, it's another thing to sell tickets, and Claressa does both.
I would argue, Chris, that selling tickets is more important than a world championship.
I mean, we saw it in, particularly Ryan Garcia before he won a world title last night. He was that guy. Even the likes of Conor Benn, someone whose popularity is bigger than their in-the-ring accolades.
Henry Garcia settled it.
my good friend who loves my show.
Fancy left hand there from Perkins a moment ago.
Okay, Perkins.
Right now. And justifiably so. It has been a terrific start for Perkins.
Stop playing with it so much. You gotta get up in there, though.
Having fun in there.
Stop playing with it.
You know, back-to-back fights, we have seen the same thing for Bryce Taylor last time out. The footwork, the fancy footwork, the enjoyment seemed to sense them all years. Perkins got to be careful. It's 2-minute rounds.
That's right.
And Shea Keneally's a very good counterpuncher.
And she is landing. Yeah. And these receivers. Some of them very eye-catching, like that.
I think, guys, at least in spurts there for Keneally, doing what she should be doing in that moment as Perkins gets a little more playful. Keneally just sticking to the basics, landing to the body, landing a sharp shot like that.
Keneally's actually having a good round.
Yeah.
He's landed some really good clean shots, and Perkins has not done a whole lot besides the dance move.
For Shea Keneally, allow her to do that. Allow her to showboat on the outside. When she comes in, top shot. Again, very short round. 20 seconds left, and I'm with Chris Algieri. I think Shea Keneally's winning this round.
Not a lot of offense from Perkins.
Good right hook for Perkins. And these closing moments, torturous for Shea Keneally in what was otherwise a good bounce back round.
And you really got to be careful in the closing seconds of these 2-minute rounds. Those spurts, Chris, they can really pay off. That's what Danielle Perkins did at the very end of this one.
Yeah, once she gets physical on the inside, you see her using her forearms, her elbows, pushing into Shea Keneally to make her as uncomfortable as possible along those ropes. And that's one thing you don't want to be when you're a tall fighter, is on the ropes. You can't pull back, you can't step to the side, you're not going to go under the shots because you're used to being taller and longer. Not a good place for Shea to be. Keneally, excuse me.
Round 5 underway. Shea Keneally looking to hold on to her WBA light heavyweight title here. Good bounce back round in round 4 with the exception of those closing 12 seconds or so. But Danielle Perkins looking back to form. She lands a good sharp left hand. Whoa. All right, Maddox, how do you have this one scored so far?
Yeah, I've got 2 rounds to 2, 38-38. I thought Shea Keneally just edged out that first round. Danielle Perkins, a clear winner in the last 2. And yeah, she had that nice flurry at the end of the 4th round. But I thought most of the 4th round was controlled by Shea Keneally. I'd like to see Perkins be a little more disciplined here. I don't think she should be showboating quite this much.
She's a tighten this up.
Once again, Keneally sticking to the basics. Good right hand connected there a moment ago. The swelling, how it's developing on Keneally's face.
This isn't a situation like Bryce Taylor had the last fight, where he completely outclassed his opponent. This is a real fight for Danielle Perkins.
Also, just the way the fight was going, it was the constant pressure that was breaking Shea Keneally down. All this showboating is allowing her to rest and recover, keeping her in the fight.
Keneally, a high-level athlete even before boxing, much like Danielle Perkins, who was a top 10 NCAA rebounder one season at St. John's. Keneally, a field athlete in flowing events. A hammer on the right hand from Keneally a moment ago, chopping down towards Perkins. Good left hand again there from Perkins as the seconds tick away and we enter the second half of this fight. Live boxing coming your way from Puerto Rico on Thursday, March 19th as Felix Perea takes on Alfredo Cruz in beautiful San Juan, presented by Salida Promotions. Round 6 underway. Keneally's trainer, Fidel Turkel, in her corner, alongside Keneally's father, who over the years was a part of the Jeff Fennick camp, the Costa Zoo camp. I'll teach his daughter the sport of boxing, works alongside her on the docks as well. Really beautiful relationship between the Keneallys as they try to hold on to their world title. As Keneally walks in the front door, trying to back up Perkins.
See the physicality again. Perkins able to just push Shea Keneally off her when they got too close. From Perkins.
There from Perkins.
Keneally seems to be having trouble with the length. I don't think she's used to having anyone quite this long who's able to jab her from so far away.
And if I'm Daniel Perkins, I'm used to that length. She landed 3 or 4 jabs in a row right there. Not the sexiest of shots, not power shots necessarily, but effective. And certainly opens up the opportunity for Keneally to get out of her game plan, get a little bit too reckless. That's what you with that kind of level.
Also, Chris, there was very little reaction from Keneally from Shea. So you just take it.
As we pointed out, that damage mounting on the face of Shea Keneally.
Dropped her. Uh-oh.
Oh my goodness.
What's the shit?
Leaking blood.
Damn.
Brutal cut on the lip.
Put it down.
And that is it.
It's over.
Wow.
Oh, shit. She done took a belt.
A brand new
Okay.
world champion.
Okay. Damn. Damn. Okay. Got that goddamn title.
Chris Algieri, that was as good of a right hook as you're going to land. You saw the Joker-esque cut that is produced on the mouth of Shea Keneally. What a shot from Danielle Perkins.
The rare one-punch KO in a women's fight, and we just saw that was nasty. And listen, I thought it might have been a little premature at the stoppage, but there was no complaint from Shea Keneally. Oh, beautiful short right hook, following that left hand to the chin there, which is a very good shot as well. And then bow, yep. Check hook on the inside as Shea Keneally was throwing her right hand. Head-on collision with that right hook. Went down awkwardly, definitely looked hurt, but man, that brutal cut on the side of the lip. Even if she had survived and the ref had let her go on, I wonder if the doctor would have. That cut is very bad on the inside of the mouth.
Make sure to check out my movie Base Dealers on this channel. AFISHO Entertainment /TV. Base Dealers. I got Iconic Psychopath up here too. It's a movie channel. Subscribe is free. It's up to you. You can view it though. No hidden fees. Thanks for the support.
A world champion in the pros. And the subplot, Chris Algieri, for the boxing hardcores out there. How many world champions did Dominic win? Get ready, test on his way up. Now he has a world champion as a trainer.
Yeah, that's awesome to see. You see them embracing there. Danielle spoke very highly of her trainer, Monty.
Yeah, I'd like to say hi to everyone who's watching. Thanks for the support.
Coming up on the zone, 7 great fights all in one night. Moses Atauma and Jermaine Franklin headline a massive night of boxing live from Manchester, England. Can Atauma be the first to stop the veteran Franklin, or can the American derail Atauma's meteoric rise? You can tune in Saturday, March 28th to find out.
Yeah, Clarissa Shields fight next.
Make this one official as we send it
Yep.
to feature video.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put a big round of applause together for both of the fighters in the center of the ring. This matchup was ended at 1 minute 45 seconds of the
She finally got her belt. She couldn't beat Clarissa, but she got her belt. I don't know. They might have to run it back.
WBA light heavyweight champion of the world, Brooklyn's Brick House, Danielle Perkins.
That's what's up.
A brand new promotional contract for Danielle Perkins with T-Rex Promotions, and now a brand new world title around her waist, and that is pure joy that you're seeing in the center of the ring right now.
Tremendous performance. I gotta think that Dominic Quinn in the corner was like, hey, quit playing around, tighten up, because those next couple rounds, she really put it together.
See Danielle Perkins with Dimitri Salita. Certainly thrilled with what he saw in there tonight. All right. The brand new champ is standing by with first match.
Well, Danielle, congratulations. 2 fights ago, you came up just short in your pursuit of a world title. This time, you get it in spectacular fashion. How did you feel about that performance?
Well, I mean, after fighting Clarissa Shields, it teaches you that you have a lot to change in your game. And I'm just grateful for the opportunity. I'm thankful for Salita Promotions. I'm thankful for T-Rex Promotions. And we getting back in the ring this summer, baby.
You
I'm
welcome,
ready for
bro.
another title.
Walk me through what you were seeing in the ring. The first round was kind of cagey, but it seemed like you got your confidence in that second round, started to show a little swagger throughout the course of this fight.
Yeah, so I started to realize after the first round is always tough trying to feel somebody out. I just never know what they're bringing. She's strong, she's sturdy, so I realized I had to be crafty because I was hitting her with some tough shots in the first round, and she seemed to be stayed, so I needed to be catching with shots that she couldn't see, catching with different angles, make her force her to miss, kind of exert herself a little bit. I was looking for, the shot that I landed was the shot that I was looking for, and I kept waiting for it, and she wouldn't bait. And finally, when she did, when I pressed it against the ropes, I'm like, I'm letting that sucker fly.
Walk me through that finish there, because you were coming forward for a lot of this fight, but you kind of backed off a little bit and landed that counter shot to finish it.
Yeah, so as I was coming forward, she kept taking off the space. So I was like, I gotta let her come into my space in my range and let it fly. So ultimately, I said to myself, you know what? I'm gonna press, and I'm a half step, see what she does. And when I pressed her in half step, she started to come forward. Then one time she rushed me, and I was like, all right, this is play. So I waited a couple, 30 seconds, probably in my head, 30, maybe 15, if we're gonna be realistic. And I pressed, and when she came forward, I was like, I'm letting this go.
How much did that experience against Clarissa Shields, how much has that helped you grow as a fighter into the fighter we saw tonight?
Well, one thing I know for sure is being in a ring with Clarissa, no one's comfortable. And if you can get out that first round and keep going, then you love boxing. This is something that you want to do. So I had to make the realization that, no, number one, I'm not going to beat Shields. But if I can stay in the ring with her and for 9 minutes and 58 seconds stay on my feet, and no one else can rock with me.
We know there's another title holder out there at 175. Your promoter here, Dimitri, said, hey, what about Shadasia Green for the next fight? What do you want to do next?
Listen, Shadasia, we already fought, baby. I'm here for it. So, listen, Raquel Miller, Savannah Marshall, Sarah, whoever. I'm the WBA champ now, and I'm ready to clean it up.
Congratulations, Danielle.
Thank you very much. Let's go, Detroit!
Thank you so much, Chris. So an incredible moment for Danielle Perkins after the disappointment against Claressa Shields, puts all those lessons to work tonight with a spectacular win and a brand new world title. We send it back up to the studio to Sierra and Michaela.
Thanks so much, Corey. And Michaela, a big focus of Danielle Perkins' training camp was strength and conditioning. How did you see that pay off for her tonight?
You definitely saw it. I mean, she looked strong, but I think a lot of what you saw today was also an accumulation of the camp that she had for Claressa Shields and the fight that she had with Claressa Shields, because she gained so much experience in that process. And sometimes it takes a while for your body to really acclimate to all that hard work. And so I think it was a combination of this camp and that camp with Claressa.
Danielle said that she prepares for every single fight like she's fighting Claressa Shields. Is that a good strategy?
Well, yeah, right. That's the standard now, right? So she knows how hard she trained for Claressa, and why would you go back? When you've adjusted and you've taken that step up, there's no reason to go back. You might as well continue that work rate. It obviously paid off here. You know, I knew that she was going to be very aggressive and strong and coming forward, but I think that Kinley was just too straight up and down, letting herself get pushed back against the ropes and taking too many big shots. Wasn't sure if she was going to be able to get the stoppage because she was taking a lot of great shots on the chin, but she got the job done.
Perkins already called out Shadejo. Who would you like to see her fight next?
I wouldn't mind a Shadeja Green fight. You know, I don't think that this gives her an automatic rematch with Claressa Shields. I don't think it's out of the question down the road, but I think maybe a fight with someone like Shadeja Green, who also wants a fight with Claressa Shields, could kind of narrow down the options a little bit.
Okay, taking it on the other side. Shea Keneally, she had 4 different failed fights over the course of 18 months. She said she never got that adrenaline dump from actually going through with the fight. What does she need to improve upon in order to start getting these top-tier opponents that she's really wanting?
The coach and me, my coach is the one that she made a mistake, and she was going straight back.
All right, well, we've got more action coming your way, and here's the stats from tonight's fight, and Shea Keneally not the outcome she wanted in her pro debut, but it is Danielle Perkins coming away with a title. 2 more fights coming up is Keith Overton facing Joe George, and then of course our main event for the undisputed heavyweight world champion Claressa Shields going against the heavy hitting Diva Ranchon Cruz Journey.
What's next for this emerging superstar in heavyweight boxing?
I was born in Slovakia, lived there until I believe it's 2008, and then we moved to the UK. I wouldn't say like it shaped me as a person because I was too young to remember anything, but I feel like it adds a little twist. My heritage is my heritage. I am my father's son, I am my mother's son. But I guess at the same time, it's like my heritage is only going to get me so far. The rest of it I've got to do by myself. My school was like a sports college. There was like so many boxers in there. So it was like it's a boxing school. Everybody's just like edging to have a fight, to get what I mean. My brother happened to be in the classroom with 2 boxers, and they was just talking back and forth about boxing, and my brother wanted to get into the mix of the conversation. So they said, why don't you join the local boxing gym? So they joined the gym, and then yeah, he won his first national title, and he said, why don't you do it as well? So I was like, I must be like 9, 10 years old. I was like, I'm not doing anything, so why not? I remember pulling up to the gym, there's just Range Rover, like, everyone's got like blacked out Range Rovers, everybody's got nice watches, everybody's got things. I'm like, yeah, this is probably something that school's not going to teach me how to do. So I was just like, yeah, I think I'm going to be a boxer. And because I held my own, I was like, you know what, I can achieve it as well. And now, look where we're at.
Moses Italma. He's the most talked about heavyweight of the last few months, and there is real anticipation. He could be the heir apparent.
The relationship with my brothers is very interesting because we go through phases where I'll see them every single minute of the day, and then I won't see them for weeks, but I still speak to them. My brothers sculpt me into the person I am. We push each other to get better, and in turn, we reap the rewards, because when I win, it's not just me that's winning, it's the whole Italian family that's winning.
Oh, he's going for it. Thunderous left hands, and down goes the American inside the opening minute and a half. Right hand, and there's no way the fight should continue. Wonderful team around him. There's family. There's a tight-knit group in the Ben Davison stable. Francis Warren believes he's got a sporting superstar on his hands.
On the zone, the fights never stop. With the biggest nights in boxing all year long.
Never been bigger for any fighter in the history of this country. Let's get ready now.
Every week, it's on. So take your seat and join us ringside. The undisputed global home of boxing. Watch only on the zone.
Welcome back to Little Caesars Arena. We've got 2 more fights for you, but there's still plenty more great action coming your way on the zone. The Weight of Champions League continues next week with the second leg of the playoff round matches on Tuesday and Lecce host Club Brugge. Then Wednesday, Paris Saint-Germain welcome Monaco. And away from the live sport, make sure you go to the Locker Room app near the Zone app, where you can see all of our viewers, exclusive interviews, and analysis shows. This week, we also have a new episode of Fight Night Raw with all behind-the-scenes action from last night's fight in Las Vegas, where Ryan Garcia became a world champion with a career best performance.
This fight here Saturday night will be a banger.
This fight means everything.
It is going to be a great, great night of boxing.
Did we have an intimate relationship? Yes. Yeah.
I love the champion for a reason. I'm ready. When I step in that ring, I know myself will be 100%.
This is the Ryan Garcia I need to see.
I kind of like a bit of crazy Ryan. I'm missing.
You're going to see a ferocious Ryan Garcia in the ring. We're not here to play games. From that start of that battle, we'll be ready to fight.
Huge moment for Ryan Garcia. Nice right for Ryan to start things off. And Ryan Garcia is about to become WBC champion.
And Chris, you were there for the action last night at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. You were so kind enough to wake up in the wee hours of the early morning in order to fly here to be with us in Detroit. But what were your biggest takeaways from Ryan Garcia, and what surprised you the most about what he did in the ring?
Well, what surprised me was that Ryan Garcia looked like the guy we saw back in 2024 when he fought Devin Haney. He looked like the guy we saw score a knockout against Luke Campbell in 2021. He looked like the rising star that we thought he was before everything happened with Devin Haney after the fight, and before that disaster against Rolly Romero. And Ryan Garcia set the tone early. Michaela, I have never seen Ryan Garcia throw this many right hands this early in a fight. Straight rights upstairs the body, and then this right hand over the top that just knocked Mario Barrios down.
I knew by round 2 that that was all part of the game plan, and I was even more impressed at Ryan Garcia that he was able to follow that game plan. Everyone thinks he has a great left hook. He does have a great left hook, and everyone thinks that he's going to come out and land that right away. But if you listen to his corner in round 5 or 6, he said the left hook is ready, the left hook is ready. And that solidified my idea that the game plan was to come out with a big right hand, to take him out of his game plan, go away from what he expected him to do, and then when he got comfortable with that, come back with the left hook.
What do you think was the difference, Michaela? Because you saw him so focused, unlike we've ever seen him before.
I mean, I don't know. He's been very inconsistent, but I was really impressed with his performance. And it made me almost sad because it shows how really talented and skilled he is. And if he would have just put whatever he did this camp, he would have put that into the earlier part of his career. Who knows where he'd be at this point? But I said to the person I was watching it with, I said, if he is this good, like, think about how lucky he is to have time on his side, because he didn't ruin his career because he's still so young and he has time to make up for it.
Yeah, and I think too, the reunion with his father works. I thought he was taking a big risk by going back to work with his father as the head trainer. Henry Garcia has been around since the very beginning, trained him through the amateur ranks, trained him to 15-0 as a pro. But in such a seminal moment, such a critical moment, to go to someone relatively inexperienced with training someone on that level, I've never coached a man in a fight on that level, but obviously the chemistry was there. You talked about the game plan. Henry was the architect of that.
Give me a second.
Henry was the one saying, hey, we're coming right
I
out
gotta
the
get this
chute, and
shit
we're
right.
hand.
Hold up.
And
Give me a
even though
second.
Barrios' teams did afterwards,